All right, guys, now we're going to take a look at what I like to call, if y'all see up here, I call these the weird problems. These are the ones that we haven't yet seen, but ones that I want to address with you guys as a class. So again, we're still just working on simplifying. So let's write out PEMDAS. All right, whenever we're doing PEMDAS, group together multiplication and division, group together addition and subtraction. Now the reason that I call this a weird problem is because we actually have two different sets of parentheses. I have parentheses here and I have parentheses here. Well, how do I know which one I have to work first? Well, actually, we're going to work them both at the same time. They both are parentheses, so we need to get rid of all of the operations inside both of the parentheses first. So let's take a look at this first parentheses here. There's only one operation inside the parentheses, 8 minus 5. So let's go ahead and do it. 8 minus 5 is 3, and that's good enough for that one. All right, let's take a look at the next parentheses. So we have 3. Remember this dot in between the two numbers? That's a new way of saying multiplication. So we have 3 times 2, and 3 times 2 is 6. Wow, this problem is already looking pretty nice. Now guys, do I have any more operations inside this parentheses? I don't. That means we're done with the parentheses, and we can leave it exactly how it is. Get rid of that parentheses, everything else is going to stay the same. What about this parentheses? Are there any operations inside of it? Nope, no parentheses inside of it. So let's get rid of the parentheses, and everything else is going to stay exactly the same. So, if you have a weird problem like this, where you have two different pairs of parentheses, work inside the first one, work inside the second one, make sure you're following PEMDAS inside of them. But other than that, look how close we are to almost done. Let's identify what types of operations we have. I have an exponent, I have addition, and then I have division. Looking at PEMDAS, what am I going to do first? Well, the first thing that I see is an exponent. 3 squared, that's like saying 3 times itself. 3 times 3 is 9. All right, now all I have is addition and division. Well, according to PEMDAS, division happens first. So we're going to do 6 divided by 2, and 6 divided by 2 gives me 3. All right, last operation. 9 plus 3 is 12. So what do I do whenever I have two parentheses? Work inside the first one, get it whittled down. Work inside the second one, get it whittled down, and then run through your order of operations. Easy enough. Now, the next weird question. Ooh, look at this one. This one actually has a parentheses inside of another parentheses. Okay, we're going to handle it. That's going to be okay. All right, taking a look at PEMDAS. We have multiplication and division grouped together. We have addition and subtraction grouped together. Where do I start? If you ever have a parentheses inside of a parentheses, you're going to start at the innermost parentheses. So we're actually going to start off right here. We need to do everything inside the innermost parentheses first. Well, thankfully for us, there's only one operation, 5 plus 4. So we're going to leave everything else exactly the same. And now let me ask you guys, we've seen this before. Are there any other operations inside this innermost parentheses? There's not. And whenever you have all the operations gone, you can go ahead and drop those parentheses. All right, so here we are. We've started to simplify it a little bit, but we still have a set of parentheses. And as long as we have parentheses in our problem, we need to start there and work inside of that parentheses. So inside this parentheses, I have division and I have addition. Well, according to PEMDAS, we do division first. So 9 divided by 9 gives me 1. I'm going to leave everything else the same in the problem. We still have parentheses, so that's still where we're working. But we only have addition now. So 1 plus 1 is 2. And now I have no other operations inside this parentheses. So I no longer need it. And last but not least, we get 2 times 3 is 6. So I want to pause and I want to go back to this step right here. In fact, I'm going to put a little bit of a star right here. Look at this step right here. Coach Easton, we had addition and we had multiplication in this problem. Why did we actually do the addition before the multiplication, even though PEMDAS says it should be backwards? It's an easy answer, guys. We still had a parentheses. And whenever you have a parentheses, you always complete all the operations inside the parentheses first. Then we can go through and work the rest of our PEMDAS. All right, y'all. I have one more problem for you. One more weird problem. This is the weirdest of them all. Let's simplify this. Again, we're going to group together multiplication and division. We're going to group together addition and subtraction. All right, before we get started, we're going to identify the operations. I have an exponent right there. I have addition right there. Remember this dot right here in between two numbers? That means multiplication. I have a minus sign, so that means subtraction. And then this is the first time that we've seen this bar right here. This is actually a fraction. I have a numerator and a denominator. And a fraction is actually division. So we're going to take the top number and we're going to divide it by the bottom number. So you're probably saying, okay, this isn't too bad so far. Here's what's weird. Whenever you have a numerator, these are grouped together. Whenever you have a denominator, these are grouped together. So technically, we treat this problem like there's a parentheses around the top and like there is a parentheses around the bottom. The reason we do that is so that we can get one number for our numerator and we can get one number for our denominator. So, whenever we have a numerator and a denominator, we're going to treat it as though they're parentheses. And we know that whenever we have a parentheses, we work all of the operations inside that parentheses at once. So we have an exponent and we have addition. All right, let's do the numerator parentheses first. Well, exponent and addition, which one do I do first? Exponent comes first. So 3 squared, that's like saying 3 times 3, is 9 plus the 11. Now we only have one operation inside of our parentheses. So 9 plus 11 is 20. Now, do I need parentheses here? I no longer need parentheses because there's no operations inside of them. Now let's do our denominator. We have multiplication right here, and we have subtraction. Well, multiplication comes before subtraction, so we're going to do 4 times 3. That's 12. And now we have minus 2, and that's our only operation in our denominator. 12 minus 2 is 10. Now, do I have any operations left? Trick question. Yes, we still have one remaining operation. This is our division sign. So 20 divided by 10 is 2. So, those are the weird problems that I wanted to go over with you guys today. We're going to have some practice over them tomorrow.